Coco Gauff voices happiness with her serving display versus Jasmine Paolini. Coco Gauff didn't hide her happiness after drastically improving her serve against Jasmine Paolini, as the American tennis star says it is exactly what she needed after a poor serving display versus Jessica Pegula. On Sunday, Gauff made a very rough start to her WTA Finals title defense after she sprayed 17 double faults and lost her serve 9 times in a 3-set defeat to Pegula. 2 days later, the top-ranked American female tennis player returned to the court in Riyadh. But this time, the reigning French Open champion did much better on her serve, hitting only 3 double faults and dropping her serve only once in a routine 6-3, 6-2 win over Paolini. "I'm really happy with how I played today, definitely a turnaround from my first match. I think only 3 doubles today compared to 17. That's a big difference. I think it just shows that I have the ability to serve like this, and it definitely gives me confidence. I think I was on the trajectory in China serving great, and I think maybe trying to serve a little bit too hard in that match against Jess," the 2-time Grand Slam champion said following her win over Paolini. On Thursday, Gauff will need to be at her best and deliver another strong serving display since her next rival is world number 1 Aryna Sabalenka. A bit interestingly, this will be their first meeting in 5 months since they haven't clashed against each other since the American came back from a set down to beat the Belarusian in the French Open final. While Gauff could still reach the WTA Finals semifinal even with a loss, the win over the Belarusian of course give her the best chance of making it past the group stage. It was a night of rhythm, redemption, and raw emotion for Coco Gauff at the 2025 WTA Finals in Riyadh. The 21-year-old American, known for her explosive athleticism and magnetic charisma, had been under the microscope all week for one particular weakness: her serve. After an uncharacteristically erratic performance against Jessica Pegula, where double faults and shaky second serves betrayed her confidence, many wondered whether Coco's campaign would stumble before it truly began. But against Italy's Jasmine Paolini, Gauff turned the page. Her serve, once a source of frustration, became the foundation of her resurgence. She wasn't just serving for survival, she was serving with freedom, precision, and belief. And when it was all said and done, a clean, composed straight sets victory, the American let her emotions pour out, telling reporters with a bright smile, "I'm just really happy with how I served today. I felt like I trusted my motion again. That's something I've been working on for months. It's nice when all that effort finally clicks on a big stage." That happiness wasn't hollow. It was earned brick by brick through trial and error, pressure and patience. From pressure to poise, Coco's serving evolution. For much of her career, Coco Gauff's serve has been both her sword and her Achilles heel. When firing, it's one of the most formidable weapons in women's tennis, exploding off her racket at over 115 miles per hour and setting up aggressive first-strike tennis. But when off rhythm, the very same stroke can unravel her entire game plan. In Riyadh, the courts have been fast, the air dry, and the conditions tricky for players who rely heavily on spin. Gauff's first match against Pegula was proof of that. Her timing was off, her toss erratic, and her confidence wavered. But something changed between that match and her duel with Paolini. Her coach, Brad Gilbert, was seen in practice sessions urging calmness and simplicity. "Trust the toss, stay loose," he repeated like a mantra. Gauff, ever the student of the game, appeared to take those words to heart. Against Paolini, she abandoned overthinking and embraced instinct. Her numbers told the story: 71% first serves in, 9 aces and only 1 double fault, a stark contrast from her previous outing. But beyond the stats, it was her body language that spoke volumes. Each ace brought a fist pump, each service held a spark of renewed confidence. Paolini's pressure and Gauff's answer. Jasmine Paolini, one of the breakout stars of the 2024 season, is not a player who gives free points. Her counterpunching, her ability to absorb power and redirect it, makes her a nightmare for anyone trying to dominate rallies. Early in the match, Paolini tested Gauff's patience with deep returns and clever angles. But this time Coco didn't flinch. She used her serve not just as a weapon but as a statement, to control tempo, dictate play, and keep Paolini guessing. When she hit her spots, especially out wide on the deuce side, the Italian was often left lunging in vain. The rhythm on her serve translated into rhythm from the baseline. Gauff's forehand, long criticized for its inconsistency, suddenly flowed more naturally. Confidence in one area of her game fed confidence in all others. After closing out the first set 6-3, Coco didn't celebrate wildly, she simply nodded to herself, as if acknowledging an internal victory that mattered more than the scoreboard. A new kind of confidence. For Coco Gauff, happiness has always been linked not just to results but to growth. She's spoken openly about her desire to evolve as both a player and a person, often emphasizing process over perfection. After the win, her post-match comments revealed that same mindset. It's not really about hitting a certain number of aces or avoiding double faults. It's about feeling good about the motion, about not thinking too much. I worked really hard on simplifying things, especially mentally. Today I felt like myself again. Those words hinted at something deeper, a player coming to terms with her identity on court. For years, Coco's power and athleticism carried her through tough matches. But at the WTA finals, where the margins are razor-thin and every opponent is elite, the mental game is just as vital as the physical one. Her smile during the press conference wasn't forced or performative. It was the relaxed grin of someone rediscovering joy in her craft. And that joy was contagious. Fans in Riyadh chanted her name, while social media buzzed with praise for her serving redemption. The weight of expectation. It's easy to forget that Gauff, despite her maturity, is still at an age when most athletes are just starting to find their footing. The expectations placed upon her, as the heir to Serena Williams' American legacy, as a global icon, as a voice for her generation, are immense. Serving has often been a symbolic struggle for Gauff. When the toss goes astray or the rhythm disappears, it mirrors the weight of those expectations pressing down. When it clicks, though, it feels like liberation. Her happiness then wasn't just about one match, it was about reclaiming a sense of control. In the high-stakes atmosphere of the WTA finals, where one bad service game can swing an entire match, Gauff's composure stood out. Even when Paolini mounted a brief comeback in the second set, Coco stayed calm, relying on her serve to get her out of trouble. A thunderous ace down the tee at 30, all in a crucial game, summed it all up. Courage under pressure, belief restored. Mentorship, maturity, and the mindset shift. Behind the scenes, Gauff's development has been shaped by an evolving support system. Brad Gilbert's analytical approach, coupled with the steady guidance of her parents, has helped her maintain perspective through ups and downs. After the match, Gilbert praised her for sticking to the plan.